I think marathon runners are f***ing crazy. You know, like if you see me running, dude, you should probably start running because I am not a fucking runner. Like I am not. Like there is something seriously wrong if you see Jason running, it's like, well, okay, I better start moving too because I am not going to be a marathon runner. But there's just something about that. They don't see it necessarily as hard work, right? They get into it where they're like physically in pain and vomiting on the side, and they keep going with a smile on their face, right? There is something emotionally not right with that.
For freshly brewed discussion on automotive sales and marketing, this is Coffee with Jason. The Coffee with Jason podcast is sponsored by Closer's Coffee. For that full-bodied, rich, sweet flavor with a bright acidity, drink Closer's Coffee, stay caffeinated, and keep on closing. Find out more at closerscoffee.ca.
So how long have you been at this?
So I usually like to start off just giving a little bit about who I am. So I pipe fitter by trade. Out of high school, didn't know what to do. So I jumped into the oil and gas industry. Now you guys out east hate us over here in Alberta, but I left that industry. I decided to open up my own insurance brokerage. So I did health and dental benefits for companies for a number of years.
Cool.
Sold that company. I was starting to go down a pretty dark path. Instead of losing everything, I decided to go do what I had to do, and I sold the company, and I went and traveled Asia for 10 months. I went for 1 month.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. And then I got back into town, and I didn't know what to do. Jumped into the car industry. I said, what better way to meet people than when business comes to you? And, I fell in love with it. I did. I was 7 days a week. If I wasn't at the store working, I was at home working for people, and I just grew to love it. And then I left because they 19 paid a guy.
Okay.
I didn't agree with it. It happened at a young age, and that's kind of why I got into the game. And from there, I went in the next day. I quit. I was at the store yesterday, actually. I went and said hi to everybody. So great people, but ended up leaving there and went to a small subprime mom and pop operation.
Okay.
I said, don't pay me $1, don't pay me any commissions. Let me just put this process in place for you because you guys are losing so much business in the back end through all these leads.
Yep.
And so I did that, and of course, on the 30th day, the month was up. It was time to go. So process was in place, and never walked away with a penny, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And then from there, I really got to know the lead gen space because of our marketing guy at the time.
Okay.
And so that's where I dove in pretty heavy, and then just myself personally spending money on leads, and then seeing what the dealerships were spending money on leads. I could not believe what was happening in the industry. And I just said, this is an absolute joke. Like, I don't know how they're getting away with it. It's criminal, and
yes.
It's my time to come in here, and I know I can do a better job.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if this part should go, but I put about 3 months of not a big research in branding, developing my own sites. I didn't know how to do much of it, and
trial by fire, right?
Oh yeah. Lots of learning. And so then I partnered up with a guy from Ottawa, and we hit the ground running about a month ago, and short time, he obviously made a pile of money, so it was like 26 grand in 4 days or something.
Yeah. Who'd you partner up with Ottawa? I know a lot of the guys up there in the subprime space.
Yeah, he's an independent. I'd prefer to. Yeah, I don't let him take an ounce of my headspace anymore.
That's sure. That's fine.
Yeah, he walked on 26 grand. Took my website. Started to take my whole brand. It was brutal, man.
Yeah.
I managed to hold his CRM hostage. So I learned real quick that you can't trust everybody in this game for sure.
No, of course. It wasn't Andrew Lemoyne, was it?
No, but I know him.
Okay.
You like him?
Just making sure. Yeah, I haven't made a decision yet.
Okay.
I'll see.
He's a great. You know what? I gotta say, he's a great guy.
Yeah. So far, I'm not quick to decide if I like somebody or not. Unless it's pretty obvious, and it's like, yeah, okay, not digging it, right? So he's actually flying into Toronto later today, and I think we're supposed to grab some coffee or a beer or something later. So
cool.
We'll see.
Cool. You know what? I got to say, I called him last week, and him and Josh, I believe, or his partner.
Jason, yeah.
They were the most real dudes I talked to in a long time in the industry anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They were solid cats, so.
Yeah.
Tell them I said hello.
I will.
Cool. Then I branched off. I did I redid it all. I had to rebuild the brand, everything. And I actually now I've got some good people in place. So a buddy of mine, he works for a venture capitalist firm for rapid growth startups, manages a $65 million fund. He's now left and he's on board with me full time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he actually is out in your area. So 3 years I've been trying to get him on board. When he said that he was coming on board, I started crying. And I said, you, sir, are the CEO of this company. Like, you just tell me what to do and I'll go do it.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of, so I'm coming in and doing the honest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
I saw that, to be honest with you, it's the first, when I was looking at some of your stuff, that was the first time I seen somebody use that word when it comes to lead generation and subprime.
Cool.
Like generating honest subprime leads. You should definitely tell me more about that.
Yeah, so this is it's the first step to my master plan. I guess.
Okay.
I want to develop at the end of the day a software program. I won't get too deep into that, but I needed in order to get to that, I needed to be a professional in the lead gen space. I needed to understand it. I need to learn it. That's the only way you can build credibility. I need to build a mass network of people, so I've been doing that heavily. And so how I'm going to keep it honest is I don't need to be a Canada Drives and have 1,000 dealerships.
Sure.
There's no need for it. They're in competition with every single one. They're in competition with themselves in every city that they're in.
Yep.
So they send you a lead and then 10 of your best friends a lead, all in the same 5-kilometer radius, and it's first one gets the deal.
Yep.
Like that to me, it's it just doesn't make sense. It's poor business, in my opinion. And
I agree.
Yeah, and lots of people are right. So the thing that I'm doing, and it's a lot of work, is I'm giving 3 pieces to a lead. So there's the first page is the EQ customer profile.
Okay.
So that's me having a phone call. So I'm on average 14 minutes a call right now. I need to get that down to 10 minutes because my time is running scarce. But I'm literally picking up the phone on every single call.
How many, is it just you, or how many, do you have callers?
No, it's just me right now. So I'm a
That's
startup.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm calling every single one of them. And I think that's the most important thing is that first phone call, that first connection. So like if it's 2:00 in the morning, I had a lead come through last night at I think we got 1:45. Well, I'm picking up the phone and call.
Yep, that's impressive.
Because I know they're online, right?
But you're being a practitioner. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's it's funny. Like my team, when we talk about marketing and stuff like that, I'll come in with a new strategy. It's like because we've been at this now for a while, they seem to forget that before there was a team and before there was a business, I'm the guy that just did everything I'm asking them to do. So it's like, it's like, are you sure we can do that? Can we do that? I'm like, guys, look, are you kidding me? Like, I'm the one that started this whole thing. I was literally doing it for years before all you guys got hired. So trust me, we can do this.
Sure. So
but that's a great place. That's a great place to be for a startup, man. It's just you take care of your own shit, do it your way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I had an epiphany yesterday. I went out to a small little town here. I won't say where because there's not many stores out there. But I ended up, I had an epiphany. I walked out of there. It was off of LinkedIn. Saw him looking for a finance manager position. I said, boom, look at that. I said, he's probably busy. He's busy. Obviously, he's hiring. So boom, picked up the phone, drove out there. An hour and a half later, walked back in with $17,500 check.
There you go.
So it's like, yeah, it's these people are. I don't think they've dealt with honest business people in a long time.
No. in our industry, there's a lot of snakes, dude. There's also a lot of snake oil being sold in our industry.
Right. So, and you say that in the sense that how many times I've seen a lead gen company start up and then fall flat on their face and take people's money? Like, is that? Well,
that's because their only plan is to be in business with the dealership for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I literally know companies that their expectation is if they can go between 3 to 6, their profitability goes through the roof. That's it. So that's all they anticipate to be with that dealership. There are enough dealerships out there that they believe that that's a model, and they've successfully maintained it. So what it is their top third of their business, all right, they'll do shit right, all right, and then the bottom 2/3 of their business, they'll expect a 3 to 6 month turnaround.
Wow, eh?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a strategy I agree with, but it is a strategy. I mean, it does work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I say to people, I think in 7 years I lost one client in the insurance game, and in this game I don't want to lose one. So when I'm vetting these dealerships, like I got to make sure that they're the right ones, right?
Yeah, you got to profile the crap out of your people. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I literally have a documented 27-point profile for my team to kind of look through and to decide, hey, Jason, here's a dealership that we think fits our profile. Like we should definitely start, pointing them, talking to them, trying to get their attention, that kind of thing.
I'm going to give you a piece of huge value. Check out Apollo.
Apollo. All right, I'm going to go to it.
Apollo.io.
Apollo.
You get a 14-day trial. Keep this between you and I, and don't ever
Sure.
So that company there it's similar to Zoom Info. Do you know Zoom Info?
Yep.
Okay, so it's similar, but they give you a 14-day trial versus a 3-day trial, so you get a little bit more time. But I just punched in this morning my targeted areas. So I've got 888 dealerships from Edmonton, Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, Texas, Florida, and North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. So now what does my day look like today? A lot of building relationships.
Yep.
That's about it. So tell me more about you. You got lots of cool things happening.
I'm always doing something. So there's probably not a moment I'm not doing anything, but yeah. Look, I've been in the automotive industry for almost 18 years.
Oh, wow.
I actually, I've done every single role within a dealership that you could possibly imagine. I actually owned my own dealership. I owned Cambridge Mitsubishi, which was a used car dealership with a flag out front, with a very heavy, very well organized, very well oiled in-house leasing portfolio. So that's how I actually made money in Mitsubishi. Most dealerships who own Mitsubishi dealerships don't make money. I had a very, very, very nice profile setup of in-house leasing, so that was fun. So then I sold that about 4.5 years ago, almost 5 now, and then I started this agency. So I now have 23 people on staff, and we work roughly with about 90 dealerships across Canada, a handful of them in the US. And we handle all of their marketing efforts. So not just digital, we do digital, but we do specialize in video. Video is a big portion of our business for sure. But I have a BDC for hire, so I have 6 people that literally make phone calls for dealerships all day long. So it's like pretty much, we have a creative department, we have an ad department, we have the BDC. Pretty much, if we come up with a strategy for a dealership, we execute the entire thing.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a service-based business. I mean, it's service. It's hard. There are a lot of companies out there that don't want to pay for that kind of level of service. They want that, box solution. Just take it off the shelf, slap my logo on it, let me write you a check so I can check off the proverbial box and I'm actually doing marketing. So it's fun. It keeps me really busy, right? And then when I started the business, I started with an outside sales team, which I thought was going to be like the best. Like I thought I hired like the A team of people, right? Like these guys are going to go out there, they're going to kick down fucking doors, they're going to take names, they're going to give me business, like it's going to be great. First year I had them, they roughly cost me over $700,000 in payroll, right? They brought in just a little over that in actual revenue. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This ain't quite making sense for me. I said, like, there has to be another way. Like, there's got to be another way. And kind of to what you said kind of earlier, right? It was like, instead of me going out to the customers, I wanted the customers to come to me. So that's how I started. I was like, I want the customers to come to me. So how do I get the customers to come to me? And then that's when I really got into understanding what branding, because I always understood it, right? But it was like, okay, now how do I execute it for myself? I've helped dealerships come up branding campaigns all the time, but now, like, how do I do that for myself? So about 3 years ago, I flipped on a camera and pretty much haven't turned one off since then.
Cool.
Does
it get easier?
What was that?
Does it get easier?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's like riding a bike. You get into a routine. I mean, I think when I first started, I was doing a couple of videos a week. Now I record around 6 hours of my day every single day.
Oh, wow.
So it's like this is being recorded on 2 different cameras right now. And some things, I have 4 camera guys, and I call them treasure hunters because literally it's their job trying to find smart shit, Jason said.
I'm
I'm
gonna keep my comment in.
Yeah. So it's like some of the content's really good, some of it's not. I kind of look at it as kind of like at bats. It's like we'll put a piece of content out there. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it'll take off. Other times it was just a swing and a nothing there. So I got into podcasting about 9 months ago. I've done 180 podcasts so far.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to figure this out. Like, let me really figure out what the hell this is. Like, how can I do this? How can I monetize it? How can I make it big? The podcasts are doing good. I do 3 different podcasts now. Of course, I couldn't do one. So I have the Coffee with Jason, which is probably our most popular one. Then I have After Hours with Jason, which is just an excuse for me to drink beer with people. Yeah. And then Strategy with Jason, and that's usually me on site somewhere, at a conference or a hotel with somebody or something like that. So yeah. And then conferences, I put my own conferences on. I found out pretty quick getting into this industry that there's a boys club,
Oh yeah.
what boys club I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Fill me in.
So it's like you go to these conferences and it's like it's like a pay to play, right? It's like it doesn't matter who you are or how good your content is or how much value you can bring to a dealership. They're just like, oh, how much can you pay me to take that stage? And I was just like, or how much can you pay me to have a booth at my conference? And I'm like, and these guys want 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12,000.
25,000 for this game changer con.
Oh, you actually took El Patron's phone call? El Patron.
Oh,
Rudy,
yeah.
like, don't get me wrong. I like Rudy. Like, when we hang out, it's cool. But, like, honestly, you want to talk about a fake it till you make it kind of bullshit, Look, dude, I'm not pretending, okay?
Yeah.
Like, right, you're a startup. I'm a startup, all right? I drive a fucking Nissan Maxima.
I got a Honda.
Like, yeah, I got a secondhand discounted fucking mic in front of me. Okay, like I'm like, go fuck yourself, and your S class and Maybach driving around, and all right guys, we gotta do like a million appointments today, and we're gonna sell like 2 million cars. So
well, I've never even met him, never talked to him, but I got his cell phone number yesterday. That's all they say. And then I go on his website.
I'll tell you right now, don't even waste your time. Like,
is that right? Eh?
Because he's not like us. Okay, right. Like we're dude, we got our knees in the mud. Like we're literally doing our shit, right? He's playing dress up.
So what can I do for you? What can I do to help you, or you know what I mean?
I'm a pretty simple guy. For me, it's not. For me, man, it's just about exposure. I'm just trying to spread the good word. I'm a weird cat because, like you, I'm just I don't like I'm not here to monetize on my content, right? Like I literally just give it all away. Like my operations manager hates it, and I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, trust me, 99% of what I say out there, no one's actually going to do. So trust me, I will give away secret sauce and everything else, and no one's actually going to do anything with it, so no big deal.
So I gladly will.
Yeah, right. Like it's just like, what are you going to do? Like it's like here's how I do it. Are you actually going to do it? Because I will.
You're doing it stuff. While you're doing stuff.
Right. Well, same with you, man. I mean, like you're talking to a dealership. Like, is a dealership actually going to answer a phone call at 1:45 a.m. in the morning?
Not a dealership, but a customer.
Right.
Yeah.
The dealership's not going to make that phone call. It's like, look, I can help. I can show you how to do this, but you're not actually going to do it.
Right. Yeah, no, I got asked to be exclusive yesterday. Got brought into this outfit. They want 250 leads. I said a minimum a month, up to 1,000 a month. I can go exclusive over.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I mean, like the money's there, but it's not even the money that's driving this thing.
Yeah.
I care less about the money.
Yeah.
It's like actually coming in here and making a difference.
Yeah.
Like Skylar, he's got my roadmap for 6 months drawn out, and when I see the money section, I just scroll right past it.
Yeah.
You know, like just let's get in here and let's get Green and Galpin and David St. Germain. Let's get them all out of the thing. I'm coming for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So,
Well, that's good, man. And that's look. I think that there are, and you know what, Andrew's I think one of those cats too, right?
oh yeah.
And I think that's why a handful of us are kind of drawn to each other because we don't necessarily fit the mold of the good old boys club.
Sure.
You know, like I had someone ask me the other day if I would go golfing, you know, and I'm like, no, like work. Are you kidding me? I'm like, you know, like, yeah. I'm like, this is what I enjoy doing. Like, this is my golfing. You can go. Yeah. They were like, yeah, we got this this tournament in Florida, man. You should totally come. Da, 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 da. I'm like, no. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what am I gonna do? Take 4 days off? Go golf with some people? Like, someone was asking the other day, like, how do you do hard work? I'm like, honestly, this isn't hard. Like, you know, I start talking at 9 a.m. and I continue to talk until 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Like, it's not hard. It's just, it's our rhythm, you know? Like, I think marathon runners are crazy, you know? Like, if you see me running, dude, you should probably start running because I am not a fucking runner. Like, I am not. Like, there is something seriously wrong. If you see Jason running, it's like, well, okay, I better start moving too because like, I am not going to be a marathon runner. But there's just something about that. They don't see it necessarily as hard work, right? Look, they get into it where they're like physically in pain, they're vomiting on the side, and they keep going with a smile on their face, right? Like there is something emotionally not right with that, you know, or chemically not right with that. Right. We're no different. We're literally no different, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, in the trenches every day, right?
Yeah. And hopefully it'll pay off. I mean, look, I don't have a golden objective to go buy a private island or a Maserati or a Bentley or something like that. I love enjoying this race. Yeah. Like I love keeping this rhythm. I just want to keep running for as long as I can.
Are you married?
I am, with 3 kids.
Oh wow! So you kept the wife, did you?
I kept the wife. Yeah. That's been fun too. But you know what though? It's like actually, honestly, like, I was working with dealerships, right? So owning and running a dealership, I was at the dealership at 7:30 in the morning, there till closing, you know, Monday through Saturday. I would come in sometimes on Sundays just to get work done because nobody was there to bug me. So, I mean, the first 2 years of my son's life, I didn't even see him. Like I did. I left before he woke up. I got home after he went to bed. So I actually now see my kids way more now. The funny thing is I probably work more hours now than I did then, but like my kids wouldn't know that. Mm-hmm. You know? Cool. What about you? Married? Kids?
Yeah, not married. 4-year relationship, but it's almost out. We'll see. This is kind of like the last week.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I love the girl, but you know, I'm so focused. It's. I can't get off of it.
Yeah.
I'm not giving her any attention, and I feel terrible for it. But at the same time, I've had a tough life, and I mean, everyone's got their own story to tell.
Yep.
But yeah, I think this is my time. Like this is it. You know, so I have to chase it. I have to go hard, and I'm doing whatever it takes.
Well, you know what? I feel. See, I don't like it when I hear people say that they don't have time for something, right? Like I was in a meeting the other day with the dealership and they were trying to tell me they didn't have time for something. And I was just like, I just call bullshit. I'm like, because it's not that you don't have time, you're just not willing to actually carve it out. Mm-hmm. And, you know, be like, like on my phone, I literally have play with my kids scheduled in my phone.
Mm-hmm. Great,
right? Yeah. Like, I mean, if it's not like, I will find something else to fill the time, like all the time. Right. So it's like, if I'm not programming it, it doesn't happen. I mean, I wake up at 5, I get 2 hours in before the kids wake up. I get them ready for school, get their lunches, do some breakfast, right? Then they're off at school. And my guy picks me up at 9. Then we're from 9 till 6 every day. Tuesdays I work from 9 to 11, but one day a week I go late. And then from 9 to 6, I'm just nonstop, just don't stop moving just the whole time. And then I'm home, and for those 2.5 hours, it's just like I leave my phone at the front door. I don't touch it. I play checkers, I build Legos, I do whatever the hell I got to do, right? And then on weekends, I actually, like, Sundays, I'll physically turn it off. Like, everyone knows, they just don't get a hold of me on a Sunday. I won't answer anything, but it's like, that's just
family.
Well, it's a routine, right? Like, if I want to lose 20 pounds, I don't have to make a routine out of it, right? If I want to, raise my kids, I'm gonna have to make a routine out of it. Otherwise, it'll never happen.
Cool. You might have just, you just gave me something there. Good.
Yeah, look, dude, it's all choice at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. No, I need to do it. I mean, I had 3 hours of sleep last night because I was working all night.
You got to get sleep. That you can't fuck with. I'll tell you right now, you can't fuck with it. It will drop. It perpetually gets worse. 6 for me, I found, is the magic number. Right. As long as I can get 6, I can continue with that same level, that same rhythm. If I can get 8, I'm great. But 6 is kind of like my bare bone minimum. But like, you can go a day or two on 3 or 4, but it will, by day 4 or 5, it will catch up to you, and the amount of productivity that you have will actually drop so much that you actually lose whatever you gained just because you took that much less sleep.
Right.
Like, that's one thing I push everybody, like, don't fuck with that.
Yeah, no, last night was just it was an adrenaline rush, man, through and through and through the whole day.
You couldn't shut it off?
I couldn't, yeah. And then at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the phone with my influencer dude from Florida. Do you know Tony Swedberg?
Yeah, the name sounds real familiar. I can't put his. I'm trying to think of the face.
I hired him as like my coach when I started over at Infinity here.
Oh, very cool.
I knew that it'd be a hard industry, right? You had to make a name for yourself quick, so I hired him to help me out. And it helped out tremendously. And so over time, I've helped him out with a couple things here and there, but now he's agreed to coming on the team and making me a couple videos, and he's gonna grow it out in Florida and see where things go. So, I mean, I've got lots of good people in my life for once, man. It's crazy. It is. It's wild.
Now, how are you building out the brand? Because I've been where you are, where you're both, like, literally every role within the company is you.
So that's it's a good question. I don't know how to do it, but I feel like I do.
You do. It's just, you got to hack it. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, right. Like, for me, like, people give me shit because I was shooting video in the car, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, go for yourself. Like, I permanently mounted a GoPro in my car. I don't touch it. Okay. I don't even look at it when I'm driving. It's not a distraction. It's no different than someone talking to the Bluetooth of their vehicle for me. Right. So I just kind of ignored all that. I haven't gotten a lot of that recently, but when I first started, I was getting a ton of it. Mm-hmm. How dare you drive and shoot video? I'm like, it's mounted to the window. Okay. Like, seriously. Have you seen Uber drivers? I mean, they're like doing this on their phone the whole time while they're driving. Like, whatever.
I'll show you kind of what I am doing. So I'll share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all my dealers here that I got to call today. A lot of them. So my roadmap.
Are you calling them?
Oh yeah, calling them all.
Okay.
And it's it's good. I have some awesome conversations. These guys down south, they like me because I'm just a blue collar. The guys down in Texas, they're good. They're good people.
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I doing here? So, just to give you an example of like what a lead. Let's do that. So a lead's gonna look like this. This is an example lead. And this is again, this is rough. This is just kind of some branding stuff that I've done. So a little bit about me and credit history. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then the credit app. And then you also get a voice recording on every single phone call.
You should do a video.
A video?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
How are you doing with getting a hold of them? Like,
dude, I'm sitting at like I've just started, right? So I'm launching my campaigns officially December 1.
Okay.
So all the stuff that I have generated has been myself in communities and stuff.
Okay.
And marketplace, and then I get them to funnel through my funnel, or go through my funnel, and then I pick up the phone and call them.
Okay.
I think I've sold 4 out of 6, like 4 rolled out of 6 so far.
Okay.
But that's just me grabbing my own organic, we'll call it, right?
Yeah, you know what I found? Like, I'm pretty good. Like, for me, like as far as like dealerships goes, I bring on about maybe 3 to 5 new clients a month, right?
Yeah.
And just from an onboarding perspective for us, there's a lot. Like, there's just a shit ton of onboarding that's required, right? Mm-hmm. So I wish I could probably do more than that, but that's actually a comfortable space for us, because then I'm still able to kind of really provide that kind of that white glove solution. You know, like I still drive out to these people. I drive 5,000 to 8,000 kilometers a month. I mean, I literally get a monthly oil change, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to be pretty specific about who I was getting hold of, how I was getting hold of them, and try to kind of hack into that. So it's like when I my prospect list, I will literally get it as tight as humanly possible, right? I mean, I'll get it down to 10 people. I'm like, out of these 10 people, I'm converting, 3 to 5 of them this month. That's it. Like, just so I go super hard with them. I mean, I do funky shit.
I've got 50. So 50 dealer groups is how many I have. Is what
That's the dealer. You want to go after the dealer groups, eh?
Well, that's what I'm doing first, because I know if I can get told no by them, then I can get told no by anybody.
So I avoid dealer groups, because I've just found personally myself, even working within dealer groups, is that they're a fucking monster ship, and for them to make a decision is not a 30-day call. It turns into a 120-day decision, because there are 16 people that have to have some type of input into it, and the amount of additional meetings and this that I have to do to get to it, I'd rather so for me, I found like my sweet spot is single points, and guys that own maybe, I don't know, 3 to 7 dealerships tops. Mm-hmm. Right? Because then what I'm able to do is I'm able to concentrate on just the one decision maker, and that one decision maker can make the call for all 3 locations, or all 4 locations, or all 5 locations. Right? So I can get them onboarded a whole lot quicker as far as marketing efforts go, right? To is my point. It's like, I like those ones, because like when I go in to meet with them, I meet with one person, and I'm meeting with all 4 or 5 locations. Like you work with the dealer group, and I do have a couple of dealer groups, and I have one dealer group, 18 dealerships, right? And it's like the amount of a time suck on me is just stupid, right? Because I can never get all 18 of them in a room at the same time. I can never, it's like out of the 18, there'll be, 2/3 of them will be on board and like, woohoo, doing our part. And then the bottom third is just dragging the feet. And it takes my team twice as long to get them to actually approve or execute on stuff. Yeah. So like, yeah, I found that smaller, dude, it was quicker, it was faster, and it was more intimate. And the cool thing is I was actually getting more referrals from them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like what I find with a lot of these smaller dealerships, they participate a lot more in these like groups are weird. Their egos are fucked up, right? Like a group seems to think like they have a secret sauce, and they don't want to share that with anybody, right? Sure. But I have one guy who like he's a Nissan dealership, and he's a part of this like 20 group Nissan dealerships. Well, he's referred me 5 of the people that he's gone to in this, with his 20 group, right? Mm-hmm. So like, but with a dealer group, they'll never want to refer you. In fact, actually, a dealer group won't even openly want to admit they're working with you. Mm-hmm. Because they seem to think that some of their dealer group's going to steal the idea, or I don't know.
No, that's good. That's good. So like if I could dive in even deeper, then I would, but I don't want to take more of your time.
No, it's cool. That's cool. It was so nice to sit down and talk with you, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your time. I do. Thank you.
Have yourself a good one.
Yeah, you too, man.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
We covered a bunch of great topics today. What stood out most to you? Be sure to let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to like the post and share it to keep the conversation going. You can follow Jason on all social media platforms by following Strategy with Jason. You can find him pretty well everywhere you can share content. I hope we were able to get you thinking. And until the next time, have a great day.